We actually started to Mr. Germain, if I would be allowed to. I'll take that as a yeah. Again, just a quick question. New York Town Law 42, New York Code Section 42, Deputy Supervisor. It's the first line. It says, the town board of any town may, at any time, establish the office of Deputy Supervisor. As well as in Town Law Manual 7 through 13, Deputy Supervisor, it says establishment, appointment, duties. And here's the first line again. The town board of any town may at any time establish the office of Deputy Supervisor. Simply put, New York State Town Law authorizes the town of Cicero, if it so chooses, to establish a Deputy Supervisor in the Cicero Town Code. I did research and I did a little fact-finding in the Town Code. I'm not just looking for any information pertaining to the actual establishment, clearly stating establishment of the position of Deputy Supervisor in the town of Cicero by the Cicero Town Board in the Cicero Town Code. Again, I could not find anything or chapter that established the position of Deputy Supervisor.
If you're asking me if I know, I've only been around for a couple of years. I wasn't here as long as they've had a Deputy Supervisor. I imagine they've had one for a long time. They had one when I first came on.
I looked in I typed it on computer Town Code. I typed in Deputy Supervisor. The only reference I could find in the Town Code of Deputy Supervisor was the, give me 1 second. It was in the Chapter 5-1, inability or absence of supervisor. Nowhere else did I find an establishment of the position anywhere. And I went on even further to look at other towns. For instance, as close as the town of, I have a lot of paperwork, I apologize. The town of DeWitt, Chapter 48, Supervisor, Deputy. It says, history, adopted by the town board of the town of DeWitt, 2-9-2009 by L.L. number 1-2009. It says, amendments noted where applicable. Editor's note, this local law was superseded, former Chapter 48 Supervisor Deputy adopted 1-3-1978 by resolution. So 48-1 period, office established, purpose. The town board, in accordance with Section 42 of the Town Law of the State of New York, hereby establishes the position of Deputy Supervisor in order that the holder of said position shall be available to act during any absence or inability of the supervisor to act, or if said office of supervisor should become vacant. And if you could find that, I'm okay with it, but I can't find it anywhere in the Town Code that establishes the position of Deputy Supervisor in the town of Cicero.
I can look. You've just told me just now. I didn't have any time to look it up or look into it.
Can you look into it now?
I'm not the town record keeper, and I don't know what records the town might have on this.
I have a code book in front of me right here, and you have your computer. You can look it up fairly easy and just type in Deputy Supervisor.
I know the town law sections that allow a town to establish a town supervisor. And I think that's correct when we quoted it. What's the question? Whether Cicero ever did that or not?
That's correct. Yes.
I wouldn't know. It would be in the town records.
I'm just going to say it to the board. If I don't have, if Mr. Germain won't look it up for us, I don't feel that we should move on if we don't know that this has actually been established as a position or not. That's it.
This is a question of me not looking it up. I said it's the records that you seek are town records. If and when this was ever established, I don't have access to those right now.
The town code of the computer, that's the town law, that's town code. I also have the town code book with me.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I think the question is, I think you're correctly citing the portion of town law that says the town can establish the office of Deputy Supervisor.
And I'm asking you if you can clarify if the town of Cicero has established that position.
I think I answered that I don't know. I'd have to look at the town records. I don't have access to that.
And I'm okay with allowing you time to look that information up before we move on with this meeting. Because again, if we legally move forward with this meeting,
Mike?
Again, everything in this meeting it's illegal and null and void.
I don't know. I've answered that, I don't know.
Would you look it up, please?
I said I would look it up. I need access to the town records to see.
Your computer online is the town. I have the town code book in front of me as well.
That's not where this would be. What you're saying, I think what you're saying
It's
is.
a local law that needs to be passed. Of course
I'm
it
not
needs
gonna
to
argue
be.
about it, I don't know. I don't know.
And if he doesn't know, then
Mike, I'll be glad to help you maybe with this if you would like some information. The gentleman to my left was the deputy supervisor for a while. I think some of the folks who've been around here for a while, even just a few months ago, remember that Mr. Burgess was designated as the deputy supervisor for the folks who've been around a while. So remember that Roy Millett and some other people were deputy supervisors. So I think it's a matter of tradition, experience, as far as whether it's been acted on is pretty well established.
again, I ask the same question. Where in the Cicero town code? I understand that it's been practice, but where in the town code does it state that this position exists? I couldn't find it. I asked the town lawyer to.
The town lawyer said it may not be in the town code. So if you have the ability to establish the position, it may be as simple as 100 years ago, the board did a resolution establishing there would be a deputy supervisor, and then every year at the organizational meeting, I believe someone else is appointed. But in order to give you a good answer on that, I'll look into it. But it's certainly been the case for many years, if you could agree with that. And it's under it, but it wouldn't be something in the town code. You're not on the right page there.
Well, why would the town do it as well as other towns put it in the town code?
I don't know.
That I don't.
Mike, this is
Okay, thank you for that input.
Anybody else in the rest of the board?
Okay, we'll continue with the agenda. Clerk will call the roll.
Again, I also asked you the question, and you never answered my question on why we're even taking a roll tonight. We've never taken a roll before.
Because I think in a moment we'll cover that. Okay. Thank you.
Counselor Cushman,
here.
Counselor Vineski,
Here.
Counselor Conway,
Here.
Counselor Becallo,
I technically don't know what to say at this moment in time because when I asked the question, obviously the town lawyer was not willing to look it up for us to see if it was even legal if we could be proceeding this meeting.
I
This
think
meeting
you're
may be
misunderstanding.
an illegal meeting. I have the town council at this moment. I'm talking. I appreciate if you be quiet for 1 second. I believe this meeting is an illegal meeting. I'm in a quandary right now whether I should say I'm present, whether I'm not present, and I wasn't given a definitive answer either way of whether this position was established or not.
Mike, it's been established. Let's get on with the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Will the clerk continue? Thank you.
and Deputy Supervisor Meyer, please.
Present. All please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Bernhardt. Mentions? Any vote, Mr. Becallo?
I oppose.
You oppose?
Again, for all the reasons stated above, I view this meeting as an illegal meeting. Today, and they didn't receive 16. But anybody else receive 16?
Just in the mailbox.
In the mailbox, I called it on.
Any further discussion on item number 6?
Sit down.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstentions? Noes?
Again, I oppose. Again, I view this as an illegal meeting.
Okay, abstracts number 5 and 6 have been adopted. Thank you. Number 7, budget modifications. Yep.
Make a motion to accept the budget modifications and amendments as posted.
Okay, so second discussion on number 7. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mike?
Yep, I'm opposed for the same reasons as stated above. I view this meeting as illegal.
Greg. One, two, three.
Very nice.
I'll take one more.
Yes.
Smile. Mike, I got this in front of your face.
That's perfect.
Ready? Gotcha.
Hang on, we got one more.
One more camera? All
It's
right.
okay, just go ahead with your meeting, I'm done.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
No.
I believe we should have said speech.
Gentlemen, could you just wait, gentlemen, from South Bay, could you wait just a minute?
1 minute.
Just one, just sorry. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Becallo,
I was having a discussion.
would you like to vote or not vote? Or?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, further questions from the board? No. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Michael, I'm sorry.
Yep, no, for the same reasons stated above.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item number 9, the contract with the emergency ambulance has been approved. Okay, we move on to number 10, personnel items, and that's divided up into a couple of sections. First is highway, and I'm going to ask Vern to those as two separate motions. So take the first one.
Okay, the first one, move for the adoption of a resolution to transfer Steve LaRochelle to the motor equipment operator, MEO position at a pay rate of $24.74 an hour effective April 19th, 2015.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The no for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the second part of that.
All right. Move for the adoption of a resolution to transfer James Baldwin to a labor crew leader position at a pay rate of $25.80 an hour effective April 19th.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion on the second resolution.
Yes, I had an opportunity to interview Mr. Baldwin, and I think he's going to be a fine addition to our highway department.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you. Mike, I had you down for doing Parks and Rec, and I respect your position. Would you like to have someone else address those?
That'd be good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark, would you like to take the next item, Parks and Rec? And if you would, please, we have 4 parts. If you could do those separately, I'd appreciate it.
I'll move for the adoption of a resolution to appoint the following individuals: James Osborne, Jacob Christian, Benjamin Mayers as park laborers, seasonal, at a pay rate of $9 an hour with a start date of May 18th, 2015.
We have a motion in a second.
I'll second.
Mr. Conway has a second. Discussion on that first item? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you. That item is approved. Next item you have there, Mark.
I move for the adoption of a resolution to appoint Julian Gorman, Megan Evans, Thomas Bartzel, and Jacqueline Kleist as recreation attendants at a pay rate of $9 an hour with a start date of June 22nd, 2015.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
You got that? Thank you. Discussion on that item? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed for the same reasons stated above.
Thank you, sir. Those recreation attendants are approved. Next item?
I move for the adoption of a resolution to appoint Jennifer Foley as a recreation leader at a pay rate of $12.50 an hour with a start date of June 22nd, 2015.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Vern, we have a second. Discussion on that item? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Those recreation leaders approved.
Aye.
Finally,
Opposed.
recreation leader.
Sorry. I move for the adoption of a resolution to appoint Justine Fleury as recreation leader at a pay rate of $10.50 per hour with a start date of June 22nd, 2015.
Do I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second. It's Christine.
Or Christine, I'm sorry.
Christine.
Christine.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I didn't hear any. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above, and then for the last one too, you can get me in.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. We're on to item number 11, which is set a date for a public hearing. Richard, would you like to get that?
Sure. I move the adoption of a resolution calling for a public hearing on May 13th, 2015, commencing at 6:30 p.m. local time, to consider proposed Town of Cicero Local Law Number 2 of the year 2015, requiring prior written notice of highway defects to supersede in its application to the Town of Cicero, subdivisions 1 and 3 of sections 65A of the town law. Said local law is entitled Prior Written Notice of Highway Defects Required. It is the intention of this law to bolster the town's legal protection from liability by requiring additional notice of defective condition and be filed with the town clerk.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion on agenda item number 11. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you.
Accepting a Public Employees Risk Management Association permit wellness grant. Whereas the town of Cicero applied for and has been awarded a wellness grant from permit to educate employees on choosing healthy dietary options with a focus on lunch, and whereas healthy dietary choices will provide long-term benefits to the employees and the taxpayers, and whereas Health Awareness Day shall be designated and lunch provided in the town's meeting hall open to all town employees to show healthy dietary options and to show how we make smart, nutritious work lunches, and whereas the grant covers related expenditures to a maximum of $400 through May 31st, 2015, and whereas the perma grant shall cover the cost of a registered dietitian, food, and related paper products with no local match. Now therefore it be resolved, the Cicero Town Board accepts the Public Employees Risk Management Association, PERMA, wellness grant for $400 and authorizes the town supervisor to sign all documents to accept the grant.
So the key parts that I liked was the no local match, and thank you for the Parks folks for participating in this. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion on item number 12.
Well, I don't know if I can make the second because I made the
So you
motion.
can't
That's
second.
all right.
I'll make a second.
Okay, Richard's going to be there.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. No discussion. All in favor of number 12.
Aye.
Thank you. The grant will be processed.
Noes? Any noes?
Opposed?
One no from Michael.
Opposed for the same reasons stated above.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13, the Comptroller's Office for some legal printing and postage and so forth. Richard?
Yeah, I'll move to the adoption of a resolution to approve the payment of $1,123.58 to Premier Printing Incorporated for the printing of the official statements and sale notices and for renewal of the bond. That's the bond application note.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Vern? Discussion on number 13.
Yeah, did we ever get a copy of those official statements and sales notices?
Did we get one? Good question. I don't have that. Do you have that, Tracy? We got a sheet outlining the money, right?
Okay.
If that's what you're asking. Is that your question?
No, if we're going to approve a resolution for the actual official statements and the sales notices, I figured we'd get a copy of those.
Okay, well,
Or not.
Tracy will get it for you. Okay, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you. Okay, number 14, Highway Department. We have 3 items here, and unless there's an objection, I'm going to ask that the 3 items, since they're all related, are put together in one motion. Is there objection to putting them together?
No.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to take 14?
Yeah, move for the adoption of a resolution to approve the following. $1,250 to Commercial Truck Tire for the purchase of 2 front tires for truck number 19. Number 2 is $4,000 to 3M for the purchase of sign film material. And number 3 is $4,000 to Tracy Road Equipment for the purchase of strainer assembly flange elbow parts for the sewer jet, number 93.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Discussion number 14. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you. The highway purchases are approved.
Thank you.
Mark, would you like to pinch hit for number 15?
Yes, would the
Okay.
board have me read each one individually and vote on it, or take them as a whole?
Is there any objection from the board to put these 2 together?
No.
Hearing none, okay.
Okay. I'll move for the adoption of a resolution to approve the following. $1,006.03 to Burdick Ford for repairs to truck number 51, which is a 2008 Ford pickup truck to replace the airbag module and tire pressure sensor and band. And $2,010 to the North Syracuse Central School District for the school use for winter-spring recreation programs.
Second. Second. Discussion on number 15. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above.
Thank you. Okay, we have an item for a bid. Richard, would you like to take that, number 16?
Sure. I move to adopt a resolution to approve the following. Set the bid date of May 13, 2015 at 10 a.m. for proposals to issue a request for brush, grass, rubbish, weeds, pool cleanup and control, and boarding up properties for the year 2015 for the town of Cicero.
Do you have a second? Second, Mr. Conway. Discussion?
How many properties was it? Do we know?
We don't know.
Last year, or we're coming to the next one?
The properties that will be
Okay, this would be
separate
future.
for the rubbish.
This would be future, not past.
Right, for this year, 2015.
I don't know what it was for 2014.
Okay.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I am opposed for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you.
So, inasmuch as the New York State Department of State, DOS has advised us on Monday, April 13, 2015, that there will be no further extensions to the Environmental Protection Fund, EPF grant number 7010 beyond December 31st, 2015. I move for the adoption of a resolution to relinquish this grant to the New York State Department of State. This grant money was dedicated to building a boardwalk from Riverfront Park under the Route 11 bridge terminating on the east side of Route 11.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, we'll do board questions, and then we have one resident. Further board comments on number 17? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above.
Thank you. Introduce number 18.
Yes, I make a motion that we adopt a request for the fireworks to be held by the Cicero Chamber of Commerce Festival held at Sacred Heart Church on Saturday, June 13th, 2015 at dusk. And as Deputy Supervisor Meyer has correctly stated, we have all the paperwork and it has been approved by the chief.
A second.
Second. Discussion on number 18. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, for the same reasons stated above.
Thank you. Okay, 19 is a website. Richard, would you like to
Sure.
address number 19?
I move for the adoption of a resolution approving the website maintenance agreement between the town of Cicero and Code Monkeys in the amount of $840 per year and authorizing the supervisors to execute said agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Would the clerk like to put in a couple of words on this? This is the website, 19?
Yes, I copied all of the town board members with a little background regarding Code Monkeys, Dan Lavelle, so that some of the new members of the board that didn't have the pleasure to work with him in the past, he originally was the web developer for over 10 years with the town. He does the Village of North Syracuse, Casanova, and he currently designs and maintains for nonprofit agencies, small businesses, and municipalities. We recently had an issue with our website, a very serious one, and he took the initiative and corrected it in a very speedy manner. And at that time, we reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to maintain it, and he kept the cost the same as he's had back when we had him originally. And he's just very thorough and knows his stuff. Very good. Very highly recommend him.
Further discussion? 19. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed for the same reasons stated above.
Okay, thank you very much. Number 20, a moratorium waiver. Mark?
I'll move for the adoption of a resolution approving a hardship exemption for Richard Latisseur, owner of 9166 Burton Road, tax map number 108.-01-01.6, from the newly enacted local law number 1 of the town of Cicero, known as the 2015 Route 11 Corridor Temporary Moratorium, to allow for the application and issuance of a building permit to construct a pole barn on property for storage. Granting this exemption will not have an adverse effect on sanitary sewer systems being studied in the corridor.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion from the board members?
I do. The board established this moratorium not even a month in, and here we are already having to grant a waiver to a citizen when the citizens came up to us, and every one of them spoke negatively of the moratorium. The study, I believe, could have been conducted without a moratorium. And now we're costing Richard, and again I can't pronounce his last name, I don't want to botch it, money because he had to hire a lawyer, so with the undue hardship that we applied to him. So that's all I have to say on that one.
Thank you. Judy, did you? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so I heard Mark.
Yes.
Mike, did you vote yes?
I did, for the undue hardship we caused to this individual.
Yes, thank you. Okay, opposed? Opposed. Ron, what are you?
I'm opposed.
Okay, we have 2 yeses, we have 2 noes, the resolution fails. Okay.